of 4 this season between the Aces and the Phoenix Mercury. And the Aces win the tip. Kelsey Gray coming off of her first scoreless game in 319 games, so we expect that to change tonight. This is Jackie Young. Short on that one, gets her own rebound. Bradbury stands into the home team, makes a bucket. And you know who the Aces go to when they need a bucket. That's Asia Wilson.
Well, Asia Wilson just so good, especially when she's by herself. I don't think she realized how wide open she was before she took that shot.
Asia coming off of a season-low 18 points. And again, both teams lost last time out. Phoenix falling to the Sparks as Copper draws the early foul. Down to the Sparks here in overtime on Saturday, and Asia and the Aces fell in Dallas on Monday.
Well, and what you're seeing, though, is an offensive rebound by Jackie Young, and Asia Wilson just drops that pop shot. That's her comfort zone, getting to her spot. But an area the Aces have been so strong has been on the offensive glass, and that's an area of vulnerability for Phoenix. So they have got to make sure to shore things up and clean up the defensive glass.
And we mentioned Ka Copper with those 41 points here on Saturday. 6 threes, also had 10 rebounds. How impressive is that, you two? Only the 3rd player in W history to be able to put up 40, 10, and 5 threes in a game.
Oh, it was a duel.
Maya Moore.
That was some fun.
And Brianna Stewart. And oh yeah, Kelsey Plum was even better. Sparks pulled out the victory.
Like Sarah said, it was good just to see her get back into her rhythm and her flow. Definitely what this Phoenix team needs.
Both teams talking to us earlier today about their defense, just not good enough. Let's see whose defense finds its flow first here tonight. There's Melissa Smith going up against Natasha Mack. Talked about those two mic'd up, 2 of the potential most improved player nominees this season, and big parts of each of their team's success. Copper off the screen from Thomas. Ka Copper, yeah, she's looking like the Cowboys.
Turns the corner and she gets downhill so quickly, but what you got to be mindful of is, if you're the Aces, is how easily she was able to get into the paint.
Again, getting back to what we were just talking about, the defense needs to be better. Becky Hammond, I'm sure a lot of you saw it, throwing her clipboard during a timeout in Monday's loss in Dallas. She was so frustrated. Smith on the deck with 2 Mercury players around her. And it's going to be Mercury basketball.
Smith's just aggressive on the board, trying to save and get another possession.
Say a turnover there on Smith, and yeah, there's the fire we all know from Becky Hammond. Back to Copper. Brochant. Thomas has been initiating the offense until this player got back. Monique Oko-Makani on the deck. Talbot picks it up.
And those are the little things you want to see if you're the Aces, the aggressiveness defensively.
That's the big reason that Vegas even looked at getting Talbot, her defense, her versatility, being able to play multiple positions, and the small plays that don't show up.
Nice ball movement there by Vegas, leads to a Jackie Young deuce. Thomas, in a little space. Copper, patient, and Copper is in rhythm early. If you are Vegas, you gotta look out for that. As you mentioned, Sarah, gotta make things more difficult for her. Asia Wilson, that 3-point stroke has looked good so far this season, not that time.
Well, here comes Ka Copper, and she's right into her flow. Maybe not the best shot that one time, but I think you love when she attacks the basket. That's what this team is looking for.
You love that from Copper, but again, there has just been straight line drives in the wide open paint for the Aces. The issues defensively showing up still.
It is 8-6 right now. Copper with all 8 points for the Mercury. Melissa Smith, right when her team needs it. Again, averaged 7.4 points per game last year. Did Smith. Started the season down in Dallas, came over in a mid-season trade, averaging over 11 this season. As that pass deflected by Young, does Copper into the hands of Gray. Oh, Gray, what a pass down to a cutting Smith.
That's filthy. Her finds the vision. She sees Smith just in stride, and those are the things that make her so special.
Well, Chelsea Gray, her basketball IQ is through the roof.
Rochon has been starting each of the last 10 games after she came off the bench for the Mercury's first 6, but Coach Nate said, need her in my starting lineup. Right. Young off the screen from Wilson, and a foul.
Has a patience and a poise. She doesn't get sped up, and she reads the defense so well.
And one of the best free throw shooters in the W, 92% on the season. And that was another reason that Vegas fell in Dallas on Monday. Fewest free throws attempted since their opening night loss to Phoenix. Back in Vegas, just 9 free throws attempted. That's not aggressive enough.
Well, it's funny, and Catch, we were actually talking about this earlier. Vegas, for as much as they get points in the paint and they penetrate and they get in on the inside, they don't get to the free throw line as much. And so a little bit of discrepancy of often what you see with numbers of being a team that is really lower in their free throw attempts throughout the course of this early part of the season.
Well, low in free throw attempts mainly because they pass the ball so well and they move.
Foul on Jewel, and he just checked in. Talbot to the bench to make sure Copper's okay. Lloyd, one of the few bright spots for Vegas on Monday, had those season-high 21 points.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a push there she had. I'm not sure how much contact, but her hand was a bit on the back and gets tripped up. And she was, and that was great to see from Jewel Lloyd as well, because she's another player, too. That want her to continue to get more comfortable in finding her spots on the floor where she can be most effective.
Only player in a Vegas uniform to hit a 3 in Monday's loss to Dallas, who is looking great. Again, wings and lengths also with a shot to represent the West in our Commissioner's Cup final as Alyssa Thomas floats it up and in.
Well, I like that matchup. Alyssa Thomas, Asia Wilson, 2 of the most prominent players in our league right now, and AT is not going to back down.
Oh, Gray behind the back. Alyssa Smith gets it from Young. Gray thinking about it. Shot clock at 6. Off the screen from Smith, and we've got a defensive 3-second violation. Chelsea Gray's looking like the point guard already tonight.
Yeah,
with a
she
couple
just
of
always
dishes.
does. It's a vision, it's a read, but she's always one step ahead. So, and her teammates just so comfortable in how they're able to move without the basketball to allow her opportunities to just feed them. And you see it right here, the eyes. I mean, that's what?
Well, it's so
that is a dime.
And it's so much fun to watch because you know as long as you move, she's going to find you. And we having the conversation earlier, I'm like, okay, Coach Gray, because literally her and Becky are 2 of the same.
She was laughing. Talked to Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray. Shoot around this morning. The jump stop, the finish, and the foul for the 4-time MVP, Asia Wilson.
And that's just a tough play by IIE coming over. Single coverage against Asia Wilson. It's so challenging to try and slow her down, but she gets to her spots off this, and you see coming from behind, just late on the dig down, body coming into her. And that's where, if you're Phoenix, you've got to be really mindful and effective if you are coming with a second. You can't just throw a body. You got to dig in and try and create some disruption with how good she is offensively.
8th and 1 on the season for Wilson. 2nd most in the W. Thomas, the spin. Good defense by Smith. 16-12, Las Vegas. Just under 5 to go in our first quarter. Gray off the heel, rebound Wilson. Back to Asia it goes, and another. 14's forever.
Well, and I think similar to that, she said sometimes those wins did cover the fact that still they felt like the defense was not up to par. And when we spoke with Chelsea Gray, she was just pounding in the concept of attention to detail. And so much of it, too, comes down from the effort that they feel like they need to bring.
4:30 to go in our first quarter. Copper has been the offense so far for Phoenix. Delana Bonner might have something to say about that.
Well, that quick release and that ball movement, you saw Delana Bonner asking for the ball. Kyle got it and kind of hesitated, but DB was ready for that shot.
And a little too handsy here by Ayayi. And it's going to be her 2nd.
And see the ball movement right here, great. Kyle looking for that shot and then realizing, but that quick release and DB, when she releases it, is so high, it's hard to block.
Bonner coming off a good showing here in that overtime loss for Los Angeles on Saturday. Jackie Young answering right back for Vegas. Bonner with 10 points in that one. Lexi held with 9. Alyssa Thomas with 10 and 12 assists. This time from the other corner, and it's Held, the other player who just checked in.
Yeah, and Lexi Held has been very important for this team in spacing and stretching the floor. You can see it there off of that possession. It is what Phoenix needs.
Bonner with a steal. Hands off to Held. Good one so far down here in the desert. 22-18 Las Vegas. Bonner, slot triple, jackpot!
DB is feeling it right now. I don't even think she looked to realize how far back she was, but I love the fact that she's shooting with confidence. Coming off of a loss, they are still trying to figure out what type of a team they are, and a lot of it just comes down to the confidence.
A 9-3 Phoenix run, and they could tack onto it here. Yagi off her foot. Jackie Young with it. Young. And Aces the last to touch it.
Oh, Phoenix has had it rolling, and a big part of it has been penetration kicks, finding areas on the floor that they got clean looks from 3, extra passing, Held, nailing it from the corner, and then once again, DeWanna Bonner. Oof! That one is deep. Hits nothing but the bottom of the net, and nice job to Alyssa Thomas just getting into the hot hand. She hits one, keep it rolling here.
Phoenix with a chance to take the lead here. 2:40 to go in our first quarter. Thomas blocks. Parker Tyus underneath and then picks it up and takes it away. Brown asking for some defense. Catch by Wilson. Can't finish though. Bonner, so patient. Look at the vet on the set through. And the Mercury take the lead here in the deserts.
Oh, look, there's a reason why DeWanna Bonner is the 3rd all-time.
Nice, the Phoenix bench has led them to the lead. Outscoring the Aces bench so far, 11-zip. Gray whips a pass out to Lloyd. Off the heel, and the rebound whipped down by Ayayi, but then knocked away by Parker Tyus. Big to big. How about Wilson finding Cheyenne underneath?
Give credit to Kirsten Bell coming up with that turnover, and that was a big part of it. Just had Phoenix disjointed.
Well, Vegas, you talked to Coach Becky about it, Coach Hammond, she said, I want more effort. That was that second effort.
No goods. No doubts. And the Aces remember that. That was her coming out party, the rookie, with those 19 first-half points in the opener in Vegas back in May. Parker Tyus tied up by Ayayi, and the crowd loving the effort.
It was a great collapse there on the defensive side for the block, but you mentioned it with Nogic, and she came out hot, and she had been shooting so effectively from the three-point line, just 1 of 17 in her last 5 games, so she's someone that you love to see get going a little bit more.
Here she is, the 28-year-old rookie out of Serbia. As Sarah mentioned, struggling as of late after that scorching hot start to her W career. Parker Tyus wins the tip. Lloyd knocks it over to Bell, then back to her. Smith asking for it. Gray gets it to her. Gray with 3, with 2. Chelsea Gray to step back. Off the heel, Bonner. The rebound tied up by Bell. And we've got a jump ball, although the Mercury are arguing that that should have been a foul.
Right, when you look at the play, the ball was up in the air, DB grabbed it high, and you see like the hand connected up at the top. Bell comes to the top right there and then comes down into the body. So for the moment up at the top, it is actually a jump ball, and then of course when it comes down, it just looks a lot worse.
All right, here we go. Bell and Bonner to jump it up. Bonner wins the tip, and her teammates able to keep it in.
They always say the ball don't lie.
Final 45 seconds of what has been a very entertaining first quarter in this finals rematch. Bell deflects another. Kirsten Bell has been everywhere on the defensive end so far.
And you often see this out of her, but it's the effort, it's the energy, just doing a lot of the little things, and it's the active hands.
I feel like Phoenix right now, they're playing with a sense of urgency. They know what's at stake, and even when we had a chance to talk to Coach Tibbett, he said we are still trying to find ourselves.
Mercury have lost 3 in a row. Again, just 4-11 on the season, 1-5 here at home. 5 on the shot clock now. Ayayi blocks by Bell. And remain Phoenix basketball, 2.6 now on the shot clock. Fantastic first quarter for Kirsten Bell. Held, has that one knocked out by Smith, so now 1.8 on the shot. A much better defensive effort already from both teams. Their coaches were asking for it. Mack heaves, and that's going to miss everything. Shot clock violation. So about a 1.3 second difference between shot and game. Expect Vegas to probably hold for the final shot here.
I would imagine Vegas is going to do something trying to the ball from side to side, because that's when they get their best look. Definitely when you have Coach Gray on the floor, she's going to manage the clock.
7 assists on 10 made field goals so far for Vegas. Beg your pardon, they've got 8. 8 on 9 made field goals. Right. With 5. Bell from the corner. Colma County. Bonner. The 3-quarter court heave is wide left. But what a first quarter we had here in Phoenix. Dewana Bonner gave the Mercury the lead a couple of minutes ago, and they've got it as we head to our second quarter down here in the desert. Back and forth just like we expected in this WNBA Finals rematch. Dewana Bonner, yeah, she's fired up. You're watching the
Considering you're that far extended in the backcourt.
And especially when you already have 2 fouls in the first quarter. That's number 3. No, beg your pardon. That's only 2.
Still, those are the little things, though, that Becky Hammon is imploring of her team, of just the mindfulness, the attention to detail, focus, and how important that becomes. So when they're talking about these individuals and they mention their conditioning, how they came into the season, and just how prepared they were both mentally and physically.
Phoenix Mercury prepared for tonight's first quarter. Best first quarter field goal percentage as Nogic drives but can't finish it on cue. Natasha Mack, who we were just talking about, soaring in for the offensive rebounds. And then Asia Wilson gets her hand in the passing lane. Look at Wilson beating everybody down the floor, but couldn't hang on to it.
No, but that was a nasty steal. Just shooting the gap, the aggressiveness in trying to create some havoc on the defensive side. That's been an issue for Phoenix. They need to take care of the basketball, because otherwise, you mentioned the field goal percentage, and from 3, they've been excellent.
6 turnovers already tonight for the home team. Still have this 4-point lead, though. Here's Mack. Nogic had a 3 in our first quarter. Looking for her second. The high arcer. Oh, the bank is open late tonight.
Unbelievable. You see the smile that she had on her face after she knocks that shot down, but realizes the shot clock is winding down and you have to get the ball up.
Is this a West Coast thing? Usually the banks are closed back in Philly at this time. Wilson always so locked in and focused. Phoenix now 5 of 6 from 3. One of the big reasons they shot 71% in that first quarter. Mack whistled for the foul on Wilson. Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule, brought to you by Ally. Tomorrow on Prime, Atlanta at Indy. That's a 7:30 start. And then on Friday, the Mystics at the Liberty, who had a sensational last-second win tonight here on USA. Sabrina Ionescu, welcome back. And then the Lynx at the Valkyries. For more on these games, WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Love our national coverage of the league in year 30 of the WNBA. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. We've got a lot of options right now. Colma County to step back off the heel into the hands of Gray. Young off the curl, lost it, gets it back. Trying to get it to Wilson, can't do so. Mismatch, double comes. Gray, the fake and the finish for Chelsea Gray.
I love Chelsea Gray. She read that play to a T. Saw the mismatch early on with Asia Wilson, trying to get her the ball, but realized the double team coming. Good fake drive.
First field goal tonight for Chelsea Gray. Melissa Smith stepping in front of Matt for the steal. And then hitting the deceleration move and floating it up and in.
Well, definitely the sustainability. Asia Wilson, another steal, great hand, great deflection. And Melissa Smith, the sustainability of being able to stay in the game for longer periods of time and be effective.
Ellie talks with Chelsea Gray and Asia Wilson about that this morning. Good defense by Phoenix on the other end. And Copper, who disappeared for a little bit after a scorching start, back in and right back on the score sheet.
I don't know if she disappeared. I think really other players stepped up, and the bench for Phoenix has been phenomenal in the first quarter.
Copper had the first 8 points for Phoenix tonight. He's got 10 now. Asia Wilson out the window.
Movement, though, off the basketball. And again, we're talking about Melissa Smith. Those are the different areas on the floor where she can be utilized because of her passing as well.
Here's Copper again. Step back. Calvin to Smith. 1 point Phoenix lead. Just under 7 to go in our first half. Final game of Commissioner's Cup play for both of these teams. If Vegas wins, they are into our championship against the Liberty. Natasha Mack all over that Wilson attempt. Nogic with it on the three.
That's exactly how Phoenix and Alyssa Thomas wants to play. You see her on the push, getting in the middle of the floor. Great job by Nogic fanning out. And she's in the rhythm now once again. This is what we've seen from her in the early part of the season.
Well, it's the defense to offense. I think for both teams, that is how they want to play. You don't want to get the ball from the net. You want to be able to run.
Wilson short, Mack the rebounds. Mercury out and running again. Thomas, an easy two.
Good patience, and you said it all starts with defense. In both of these teams, that applies. If they're able to get stops, then they can get out quick.
Both coaches could not say enough about that earlier today. Wilson will calm this crowd, at least momentarily.
Well, right on cue, and if you know you need a bucket, you will space the floor and let Asia Wilson work down low. That is her comfort zone, anywhere in the paint.
14 points in 13 minutes for Wilson. 10 points in 10 minutes for Copper. Thomas, an easy two.
Look at Alyssa Thomas, just the way that she's guarding Asia Wilson down here. Always going to have a body on her and try to make it hard.
Miscommunication. Wilson thought that Young was coming up towards the timeline, and she cut towards the baseline.
Mercury is doing their best to get better defensively. And how do you like that block from Mack? That is big time, allows Phoenix to get it on the go. Nogic drains another three-point shot. There's a level of fluidity, and you've said so much about Mack, just what she's brought to the table, high level of efficiency from the field. She also does so many of the little things, especially on the defensive side.
Nogic over to Thomas, already with 6 assists tonight. Copper turns it over. Young, up and in.
Great awareness. Realized she still had a step with Copper on her hip.
Well, it's not just the step, it's how she slowed down.
3-time champ, 4-time All-Star is Jackie Young. Copper on the baseline for the deuce.
And Kyle Copper is definitely playing the way that she knows how to play. And Coach Tibbetts said last game, really you could see her getting into her flow. Despite the loss, he was proud of how hard she's been working, everything that she's done to get herself back.
Right. The drive and kick. Wilson with 2 more. 16 and counting in this first half for Asia.
Those just automatic. When you find her, and especially with the penetrations, it's drawing in the defense and opening up just enough room for those looks.
She had 18 total in Monday's loss at Dallas again. 16 in 14 minutes so far tonight. Linskins just into the game, and the latest Mercury player to hit a three.
So what you're showing me right now is every single position, every single player can knock down the three, and I think that's a hard find for Vegas right now.
7 for 10 from outside. Wilson can't finish. Smith couldn't hang on to the offensive rebounds. Held past everybody, fakes it, and finishes. And this place is electric.
Becky Hammond not happier about the no call on the other end, but Phoenix taking advantage of numbers.
Waiting for a performance like this at home this season. Could this be the first one tonight? Still a lot of game to play.
Well, a lot of game. Phoenix just doing a good job. Look at the space. Langston gets that shot. Nice, just spacing of the floor, but held. Gave Chelsea Gray a little bit of her own medicine. We saw that happen in the first quarter.
Anything you can do, I can try to do it, sir.
Well, in Paul Blue Team, let's shout out my university.
Hey.
But it
Knew
changes.
she was going to get that in at some point.
It changes the dynamic of how Phoenix can play when they're knocking down three-point shots and running.
Turner in the game for the first time tonight for the Aces. Former member of the Phoenix Mercury. Shot clock winding down. Wilson sees it, fires, off front iron, rebound to Lloyd, back to her right hands. Linskins the rebound. 47-38. Mercury in front. Thomas spinning past a couple of players, and Wilson on the chase down block. Playoff field, a no look from Gray to a cutting Turner.
You always got to have your eyes open. Bree Turner, great job of just staying locked in. Chelsea Gray will find you when you are on the floor.
Back and forth we go. Steal by Gray. Said she's done a lot on the offensive end. Let's make an all-defensive team. Maybe it's this season. Lloyd around and out. Wilson, the offensive rebound. And Asia Wilson is fouled, and we know she plays with fire a lot.
Well, and you think about it, so New York Liberty started off in the Commissioner Cup run without Sad, without UNESCO out there, and being able to win games, quality games, so you add her back into the mix. It changes the dynamic of the team in a good way, because now it's like she doesn't have to come in and try to do more. All she has to do is come in and be what she is, and that is what she does.
Liberty, a slow start to the season, but they have found their groove. Leonie Phoebish coming back. And Sabrina Ionescu now back in the fold. And finally, the full squad.
Yeah, and I think, a first-year head coach, and Krista Marco, who's done a really solid job, but I think everyone just figuring out exactly what is being asked.
5-point game here, 1:35 to go in our first half. Lloyd straight on triple. Can't connect.
Great ball movement by Vegas, though. I love how they are attacking and trying to find those wide open looks. Lloyd is open. Those are shots that she should be knocking down.
Yeah. Thomas, the spin. Linskins trying to kind of scoop it back up and in. Doesn't go, but the three-point differential, big reason that Phoenix is in front. They're 7 for 10 from three. Vegas just 1 for 9 from outside. And finally, one goes on cue, almost like she knew we were talking about.
Which is ironic, because it's kind of been the flip for this entire season. This is a Phoenix team that struggled in their efficiency under 33%, while it's been Vegas who's second in the league with three-point percentage at 37.
Phoenix has missed the last 2 shots, first time all night. Let's see. Okay, a turnover there. Chance for Vegas to tie or pull ahead. Young. Looking for Wilson. Didn't connect, but the Mercury the last to touch it. So 7 on the shot clock. Aces ball. And say no, it's Phoenix basketball.
There's been some miscommunication by Vegas on the offensive side. I think a few times where they just have not had clean passes or some of the cutting actions where you would anticipate them to be.
Sometimes you're trying to make an extra pass and you're trying to thread that needle. And Chelsea Gray trying to connect with Asia Wilson, goes through Wilson's hands.
And Alyssa Thomas is a really physical defender, so Catch, you had pointed out this matchup. It's been fun to watch them go at one another.
Phoenix looking to add to their lead here before we reach halftime. 5 seconds to go. Copper into Wilson, and she's fouled. First on Asia Wilson. Copper leading the way for the Mercury with a dozen. Bonner and 10 off the bench for the Mercury. Those two have led the way for this home team. WNBA on USA Action continues Monday at 8. Caitlin Clark and the Fever hosting Alyssa Thomas, Copper, and these Mercury. It is going to be electric, just like tonight's game is. And you don't want to miss it. More WNBA on USA Action coming up on Monday night. Copper with 41 here on Saturday night, pushing the Los Angeles Sparks to overtime. Kelsey Plum just a couple of points better in that Sparks overtime victory. So you knew that she was going to come out with a full head of steam here tonight. Final few seconds of this first half, because the three-point differential, one of the big reasons Phoenix took the lead going into the break. 7 for 10, 70% from three in the first half. Vegas just 2 for 10.
Jackie and Chelsea just kind of mean mug for another after that three-point shot.
Quiet in the first half. Good start for her to the third.
And I think for Phoenix, one of the things that they're going to have to do is just try to maintain and figure out how to keep moving the ball. That's what they did really well in the first half.
Alyssa Thomas leading them there. Young off the heel. Smith. Talbot couldn't hang on to it. Wilson once again getting her hand in the passing lane. Young keeps it herself. The deceleration move that we saw in the first.
You said it, and it's that slowdown, her ability to be patient with those final two steps. And Asia Wilson, when playing at that point of attack, right at the top of the key, has been excellent.
For Asia Wilson right now, 4 steals so far in this game.
The co-defensive player of the year last season, in addition to being the MVP and the finals MVP. Talbot almost had it. Into the hands of Thomas it goes. Talbot, an easy steal there. Young hits the brakes and hits another. What a start to this third quarter for Jackie Young.
Well, you knew the Aces were going to figure out a way of getting back into the flow of their offense, and they've done a good job. Defense has led to their offense.
Copper on the back cut. Thomas with a dime.
And Chelsea Gray rubbing her nose. Looks like she got hit somewhere in that play.
All square at 53. Young feeling it right now. Calling her own number until she tried to sneak it through. And Alyssa Smith almost wanted to be more selfish there.
Well, I think you get that low in the paint, you have to go up and shoot unless you have a two-man defense that rushes up and you have a wide open look. But Smith was down there waiting for the rebound.
Now a chance for the Mercury to retake the lead. Copper with 16. Copper downhill, up and in, 18 and counting for Copper.
Downhill is the key, and Copper can do that so well because you need to respect her from the three-point line. You saw Jackie Young close out on her tough. She has that ability to use that explosive first step.
Jackie Young leading all scorers with 20. What are your eights here in this third quarter? Wilson from the elbow, that's her spot.
Wilson's automatic when she gets to that spot. If you're not already there before she catches it, if she gets a glimpse of the basket, she's going for it.
So now she's got 20 as well. First bucket tonight for Ako Makani. Back and forth we go. 8 ties. That was the 7th lead change. As Wilson, it's tied up by Thomas.
Some great spacing by Las Vegas on the floor. Everyone spread out. It was also the movement and the chemistry we've seen between Smith and Wilson of just understanding how to keep moving to find some of those areas to be able to get a tunnel to the basket.
Well, Smith this day just being able to find those adjustments and being able to be on the same floor as Wilson. She now has a year under her belt. She knows, okay, where is Asia? And by the way, your first option in any offense is Asia Wilson.
Wilson hits the first. So 2 20-point scores already tonight for Las Vegas as Steph Talbot takes a seat. Wilson and Young. Copper with 18, Bonner with 10. So far tonight for Phoenix. And you mentioned those season high 4 steals as well. Wilson doing it on both ends of the floor. 57 all. And we've got a whistle. Makani was cutting to the basket. She was held by Jimmy.
I like that cut by Makani, trying to make just the defense play honest.
Copper with some space. And Copper's got 3 more.
I would say this, when somebody has a hot hand, you can't go underneath the screen, especially when you know they're a 3-point shooter. Kyle comes down and gets that defensive foul, but look, you see Chelsea Gray gonna go under the screen. Asia Wilson probably supposed to be a step up.
Yeah, that's part of it, because part of it was off the switch on that slip.
This is Lloyd from the corner. And Smith continuing their battle on the boards. Thomas asking for it. And bully ball underneath. Smith coming over to help. Through the hands of Mack. Over to Young.
Great rotations on the backside.
Melissa Smith for 2. Great pace to this one. So far tonight, feeling like a rematch of last year's W Finals. Copper off the heel. Mack over to Gray. Young to Wilson. That was very close to a Brochant steal. But instead a whistle.
I didn't lose myself to get here. Kate?
Well, Wilson fouled by Akoa Makani just before we stepped away, Idona. And yeah, when it comes to faces of leagues, think about all the professional leagues we have here in the United States. Hard to think of a better one than Asia Wilson.
Well, Asia's just the epitome of what a role model, a leader. I mean, all the things that she's accomplished. A writer, right? She has her own book, and she just continues to elevate in so many different ways. And you watch her out here on the floor, but it's the things off the floor that I think really we look at it and it's like, man, yeah, that could be any of these young girls and boys who aspire to be one day.
Melissa Thomas laying it up and in, giving Phoenix back the lead. And we've got another whistle. Pretty whistle-free first half. And now things starting to slow down a little bit in this third quarter.
Well, I think both these teams continuing to feel one another out. It's been very physical throughout the course of it, but there has been an emphasis on defense. They've shored things up a little bit in the ease of where everyone is being able to get to on the floor, and parts of that has led to some of these fouls.
And that's going to be number 4 on Copper, so she will take a seat. And yeah, 12 fouls total in the first half, 5 already in this third quarter. 4.5 to go. Wilson spinning to her right, does not get the roll. And Smith will have to touch it. Heck of a night so far, though, for Smith. 10 points in her 19 minutes. Copper with 21 points, and that's I think the only way that the Aces are going to be able to slow her down is keeping her on the bench with foul trouble.
Definitely, but this is an opportunity for other players to have to step up. We saw this happen in the first half. Other players had to step up and knock down threes, and they continue to take that ride. One of those main players, 10 points in the first half. Now she's back on the floor. They got to try to figure out how to find out who is going to have the hot hand in the second half.
And that was another reason that Copper and Mercury had the lead at the break, 27-4 when it came to bench points in the first half, led by Bonner. We got a jump ball between Young and Nogic.
And an excellent job here off of the dribble handoff by Jackie Young, trying to just reach in and blow this up. Asia Wilson, a season high, four steals on the night. Jackie Young with 4 steals. They have been really active with their hands.
Young wins the tap over to Gray, and Sarah going off of that. Came into this one last in points off of turnovers in the league, did Vegas. Young, step back 3 is short, but tonight, already with 19 points and counting.
It's what's kept them in it, because they have not shot the 3 well, while Phoenix has.
Nogic has been very good from 3. 3 for 3, indeed. Looking for maybe 4 for 4, pulls it back out. Elts, bottom of the shot. Thomas with the left hand, leaves it just a little bit short.
Another sloppy possession for Phoenix, and this is where they got to figure out, when you look at consistency, how do they stay consistent?
Bonner the rebounds. Again, she was the bench spark for Phoenix in the first half. Thomas saying, let's slow things down. Already has 10 assists tonight to go along with her 8 points. Ayayi. Off back iron. Wilson taps it over to Lloyd. Over to Young. Been battling with Smith all night. And whistle for the foul this time. And that's going to be number 3 on Ayayi.
I like the physical play down low, but you got to almost figure out how to control that in space. The refs are calling a little bit different than it was in the first half.
Talking that one over, asking what the difference might have been. So 2 free throws coming for Alyssa Smith. We are tied at 62 after the first. Well, WNBA All-Star voting presented by Ally is underway. And today, your vote counts twice. We got a double header Wednesday here on USA, and also double votes. So scan the QR code on your screen right now to vote for your favorite players. I feel like a lot of the players we've got on the court tonight should have a chance at playing in that All-Star game in July.
Resume stacked with All-Stars to go along with it.
Mercury scoreless in their 4 trips since Copper hit the bench with those 4 fouls. Let's see what they do here. Thomas just trying to lead Bonner a little bit too much.
Yeah, another turnover. It becomes a possession game. Nate Tibbetts knows that as well as anyone. It's a little bit too much, and you like the read, though, of Bonner cutting back door.
You can sense the frustration even when she made the pass, and they're on the same page as far as communication, is just trying to make sure that extra connection.
16th turnover tonight. Young over to Wilson. Talbot with 3, with 2. She sees it. Not gonna get the rim though. So shot clock violation or out of bounds. Mercury basket.
Hey, Mercury doing everything they can to show a double. They've got a player front in Wilson. They've got someone behind her. They're showing so much traffic around her, and in many cases, it's led to some of those disjointed possessions and shots.
And that's what Coach Tibbetts said, that we have to show her a lot of different looks. She has seen everything.
Yes.
Thomas guarded by Wilson. Held. Great explosion to the cup by Lexi Held.
I like that play. Lexi Held just basically the C just opened up and allowed her the opportunity. And Jewel Lloyd, or Jackie Young, not wanting to foul.
Not surprising from a DePaul product, right? Wilson, jump stop, leaves that one a little bit short. Ayayi had it, but couldn't hang on. Let's see whose ball it's going to be. Going to see, stay with the Las Vegas Aces.
Well, Held, just take another look at this, but when she drives in, comes off that screen, the back rotation didn't come over. Talbot tried to come a little bit too late, but not enough time.
I know. They give them play foul. Let's see, you got a free throw coming here. And Thomas disagreeing vehemently. It's going to be number 3 on HC. So 4 on Copper, 3 now on Thomas, 3 on Ayayi.
And watch this coming from behind here. Just a little bit of a push. Little.
I don't know. Tibbetts disagreeing, not surprisingly. Lloyd into Wilson. Asia Wilson has 26.
A tough basket. Great execution, and also just feeling the body of her defender.
Look at how hard sometimes she has to work to get these baskets. I mean, she averages 25 points per game, and you're like, how is she going to get these 25 points? It's the work that she does in the paint. I mean, when she gets the ball, she collects herself, she goes up. You can tell visibly she's stronger than she's been. Every year she's gotten better and better, and I really think her play around the basket, but even now she's shooting threes as if like that is part of her game. So Asia Wilson just continues to elevate.
8 for 17 tonight, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Got in front of that one. Jackie Young. Talbot's the catch and shoot, and it goes for Steph Talbot.
Much needed make for Las Vegas. A big shot for Talbot, and a good job by the Aces running in transition.
First points tonight for Talbot again. She is in the starting 5 because of her defense. Held, unable to answer. But if she can get going on occasion on the offensive end, hard to stop these Aces. 45 to go in the third. Lloyd, scoop off the heel. Nogic, wide left. Lloyd saying, let's slow things down. Mercury led by 4 at halftime. Vegas +4 at the moment. Got a 10-second difference between shot and game. Shot down to 4. Down to 3. Young off the Wilson screen, around and off. Thomas leaves it for Bonner. Heaves. And that will be wide left. And that will do it for our third quarter, or will it? Let's see if there's time left as that one bounced out. It looked like there might have been 0.1, 0.2. Okay, 0.4 being put back on the clock.
And oh yeah, 5 steals. I mean, talk about a big time stat line.
And Young has tied her career high with 5 steals. Aces with a season high in steals. Smith leaves it short, but she was fouled. That has been a fun battle we've been watching since the tip tonight. Natasha Mack and Alyssa Smith, and Asia Wilson sitting to start this fourth quarter. 26 points in 29 minutes.
Well, interestingly enough, Natasha Mack, when you just think about back and forth we go, back and forth, she has not scored yet in this game. She's only had 2 shot attempts, and for Phoenix, they need her to score, which also means they got to find a way to get her the ball down low.
There's Mack had the go-ahead bucket here late in the Saturday night showdown with the Los Angeles Sparks. Kelsey Plum would answer for LA and push that game to overtime, but you're right, she had double figures in that one. Tamika has not scored yet tonight. Smith splitting the free throws, 69-64. Las Vegas in front, looking for a little revenge from their 33-point loss to the Mercury at home in the season opener this year on ring nights. Copper and the Mercury looking to go 2-0 against the defending champs so far this season. Nice save there by Mack. Bonner has to get it up. Shot clock winding down, hits the rim, but that's all.
I don't think Bonner knew how much time was on the clock.
I think she thought it reset.
Yes.
I don't think she realized that it didn't hit.
Smith, good position on Mack. The fake, the spin, and Mack with a swat. Koa Makani. Talbot doing well to try to stay with Nogic. Keep her off that 3-point line. Turner turns away Akoa Makani.
Not only the block, but just staying in front. That was an excellent job by the Aces, not allowing Phoenix to get to where they wanted to go.
Well, you do realize Turner is one of the defensive stoppers in this league. That's what she's known for. You can't go a one-on-one rotation with her.
Look at Chelsea Gray, the handle, trying to sneak it inside to Smith, and then Copper takes it away from Turner. Copper, and one!
Copper's got a step. She's physical. She's quick getting downhill, but it's that little bit of hesitation. Lifts her body, gets Turner up just enough, and then boom, she accelerates. It is a big-time move. And for Copper, we mentioned her coming off of that 41-point night, but so much of it wasn't just about the numbers, but it feels like her level of just comfort and the higher level of efficiency, where she wants to get it from, and just feeling the flow of the offense.
24 and counting tonight for Copper. And with more on Copper, let's go over to Idona.
Yeah, guys, I had the chance to speak to Kalia Copper, and she said, my confidence in myself never wavered, but waiting for the breakthrough was overwhelming. And during that time, I found myself doing things outside of basketball, like watching Grey's Anatomy and SpongeBob SquarePants. She said in one episode of Grey's, Derek operated on someone who passed away, and he lost his confidence. But watching him work through that and eventually trust himself enough to get back into the operating room really resonated with me. And I'll get back to you, Kate, here.
But love that story. Sometimes you got to take yourself away from the game, and you never know where you're going to find inspiration and motivation. Great story by Idona on Copper there. Akoa Makani is fouled.
Definitely the motivation, and I know through the highs and lows of the season, you always have to figure out something different. For me, it was going outside to a random basketball court just to be outside, because when I grew up, that's where I started. So I just needed to be away from everything, clear your mind, kids on the playground, go and join just a fun game of basketball and realize I play this game because I love it and I have so much fun.
Yes, again, I mean, that's even the reference of that, of being surgical and operate. Like, no, you're playing but she is. I mean, that's how she plays. And for an individual of all that Copper has accomplished, you know that it was going to come back to the level of consistency that she wanted and has worked for.
Career lows in field goal percentage and three-point percentage for Copper, but so leads the team in scoring. 41 on Saturday, 24 and counting tonight. All tied up at 69. Gray, the fadeaway. Rebound to Wilson. Talbot to Smith. The block by Thomas, but Smith stays patient and calm under pressure underneath.
And these are the moments you see her maturity and how much she has grown in even just a year.
No good chin to Thomas, who is being held by Talbot.
Look at Asia Wilson. I mean, we've just talked about how much she has elevated, but this right here, last year you look at Melissa Smith, and even a year ago, 2 years ago, she's not able to get back up and finish. The sustainability, the taking contact, being able to go back up, I mean, the bounce back up. She's lost weight, she's trimmed down, she looks good, she feels good, she's playing with confidence.
Asia Wilson with the swat on Nogic, and then drawing the foul.
Her competitive spirit is just so much fun to watch. We already went through the steals. Now this nasty block, I mean, she steps up quick, and that's a part of playing the coverage. And Becky Hammond has talked about the defense. The whole team has attention to detail on how they want to play that screen. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and it's showing right there.
71-69 Las Vegas. 7 to go here in Phoenix. Turnover. Numbers for the Mercury. And Asia Wilson in a 1-on-3 knocks it away. Gray to Smith for the deuce. A 4-point shift there because of Asia Wilson.
Well, Phoenix Mercury had a 4-on-1 break.
She's a 4-time MVP. Copper, jump stop around and out. Wilson ripping down the rebounds. Thomas is down after taking some contact to the face, so a 5-on-4 here for Vegas. Smith, what a night Melissa Smith is having. Melissa Smith has been rolling on the offensive end for Vegas, and then off the foot of Jackie Young. Another turnover. It's number 20 tonight for Phoenix.
And I feel like for Phoenix, in the moment that they need to have plays happen, they have turned the ball over. Unforced turnovers.
Yeah, 24 Las Vegas points off of those Phoenix turnovers. Jackie Young, no. Asia Wilson, another offensive rebound. Gray. Smith battling underneath with Bonner. Copper comes away with it. Nogic from the corner for three.
They needed that.
Much needed play. Space the floor, allow your three-point shooters to step out, and when you deliver a pass that gets them right into their shot, it's money.
Fourth three-pointer for her tonight, 4 of 6. As Bonner's going to get whistled for the foul on Smith.
And you've seen multiple plays that have happened for Phoenix where they have all ran down the center of the floor, but look at the spacing and just making sure when players are out, everybody runs into place. It just looks better, it feels better. No get right into a shot.
And again, was so good from 3 against the Aces in the Mercury season opening win in Vegas. And has 4 more tonight. Well, let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national schedule on Prime tomorrow night. We got the Dream at the Fever. And then a doubleheader on Ion on Friday. The Mystics at the Liberty. The Lynx in the Bay to take on the Valkyries. Another great week of hoop here in the W. For more on these games, WNBA.com is the website, or visit the WNBA app. Ford knocks it out to Jackie Young. So 3 20-point scores now for Vegas after Smith hit the first. She's got 20. Gray steps inside the arc and drills the mid-range J.
Think about the things Vegas has been able to do with second chance opportunities, coming up with offensive rebounds, forcing turnovers. They've seemed to lock in even more here through the course of this fourth quarter.
Young with 20, Wilson with 26. Those are the 3 20-point scores for the defending champs. Beauchamp, the driving kick. Mack will attempt a corner 3, and that is well short.
That's not a good look for Natasha Mack. She hasn't had a shot at all in the second
Cup final on Tuesday, November 30th. 4:34 away from that. Young to her right. Off back iron and off of Nogic, so it will remain Aces basketball. And Melissa Smith has been tremendous in this fourth quarter.
Well, Melissa Smith has done a really good job of just getting her hand on the ball. She's active around the rim. She's making it hard because Phoenix really doesn't have an answer. They're trying to box her out, but between her and Asia Wilson, it seems like they're jumping over their heads and able to tap some of these balls to their teammates.
She's got 8 points, does Smith, in this fourth quarter. Mercury as a team with 8. Looking for Lloyd, and it comes to her. Quiet night for Drew Lloyd so far. Still looking for her first points. Maybe they come here. Halfway down, it pops out. Been that kind of night. 0 for 7 now. 0 for 5 from 3 for Drew Lloyd. So an opportunity for the Mercury. Down 6. Thomas into the paint. The lefty scoop is shorts, and Wilson rips down the rebounds.
That's a good play for Alyssa Thomas. I think that they need to go to that more regularly throughout the game. She goes through so many lulls without even looking at the basket.
With that rebound, another double-double for the MVP. Gray can't connect. So a couple of empty possessions for the Aces, leaving the door open for the Mercury here. 3 straight empty trips for Las Vegas. Copper. This is getting real physical as this one winds down. Shot clock winding down. Copper off 1 foot. And Smith and Mack battling underneath. Let's see who this is on. It's going to be on Smith.
In a tough way to not be able to finish off a possession, because both Young and Gray, great job working through those pick and rolls and a lot of those ball screens.
Vegas just 1 for 6, so their second successful challenge. And it comes at a big moment. With this 78-72 lead, with 3:18 to play. Looking to even the season series and punch their spot in the Commissioner's Cup Championship with a win here tonight. And Smith will be shooting.
Melissa Smith on the line, shooting 2.
Already with 20 tonight in her 27 minutes, a chance to tie her season high of 22 if she hits them both. USA's hit series back for a second season with all new cities, all new guests, and the same monstrous appetite. Don't miss everything on the menu with Braun Strowman. New episodes Fridays on USA. We all got to meet Braun in Brooklyn last week. And he's a hoot, and I've caught a couple of episodes of season 2 of that show, and it's great. Fridays here on USA. So Smith splits the free throws. She's got 9 now in this fourth quarter. Phoenix still with just 8 as a team.
Well, this should be an interesting drive, too, for Phoenix. Coach Tibbett talked in the pregame just about finishing games.
And Wilson thought she'd finish that defensive possession with a block, but there was a whistle saying I didn't touch her.
House charge number 22, Angel Wilson. Her second personal, 14 foul.
Would have been her 3rd block tonight, but not going to stand at the moment.
Malia Copper, shooting 2.
Oh, yeah. Saw her on the wrist.
But I love the fact that you see the coaches on the bench looking back. And I'd hate to be that person behind that has to go back and look at the reviews.
That is the most high-pressure job.
There's the brain trust of the 3-time champs, the Las Vegas Aces. 26 and counting tonight for Ka Copper. 5-point game here in Phoenix. Young with 20. Wilson with 26. And she's fouled.
House charge number 25, Melissa Thomas. That's her 5th personal.
That's going to be number 5 on AT.
Well, I understand the pressure and pressuring Asia Wilson out, but I think that's a little bit too far from the basket. And you almost, once you get the ball, you have to space up and play one-on-one basketball and not use your body to try to body her that far out, especially when you have 4 fouls.
And especially when Wilson is having a night like she is having, 27 and counting tonight.
Wilson with a double-double, 27 and 10.
Can't hit the second, though. Thomas knocks it over to Brochon. So again, the Aces leaving the door open for the Mercury. Some empty trips in the fourth quarter, some missed free throws. Thomas, the drive, and the dish, and the turnover.
Well, we keep talking about Alyssa Thomas, Asia Wilson. They've been matched up against one another, which has been so much fun for us to watch. And that possession, you see it right there. Wilson able to really divert her from having a look at the basket and forcing the turnover.
21st turn tonight for the Mercury. 24 points so far by Las Vegas off of them. A chance to tack on a few more here. Wilson wants it, turns, fires, and connects. 29 and counting.
That's where she's so good. Catches and faces up and can just shoot over Copper.
Well, that's the difference right now, too, is Asia Wilson finishing the play at the basket. That last possession, I think, 18, you have to take that shot.
Largest lead of the night for Las Vegas. Gray with a steal. The no look ahead to Smith. And Matt efforting back to knock that one out.
Well, first off, you see the mismatch down low. Asia Wilson, one-on-one matchup with Ka Copper. Ka not wanting to get in foul. She's already in foul trouble, not wanting to get that foul. Gives Asia Wilson a little bit of space, and that's what happened.
In it comes to Wilson. And Asia Wilson gets the roll. And the 4-time MVP has another 30-piece here in 2026.
Yeah, they just keep feeding her, and she's so methodical in how she's reading the defense, where she's getting to her spots. And she has been locked in both ends of the floor, whether it's been the points, the rebounding, the blocks, the steals, a little bit of everything. There she goes, get to her spot once again. It's money.
31-10 for Asia Wilson. Team trying to close this one out. Copper is short. Gray knocks it over to Wilson. Really feels like Phoenix has to get a stop here if they want to have a shot at this one. Will it be the Aces with a dagger? Young off the Wilson screen. That's going to be a kickball by Thomas.
Well, smart defensive play because Alyssa Thomas didn't want to give too much space off of Asia Wilson last time. The last couple of possessions, she kept switching off.
So 14 on the shot, 1:24 to play. Aces looking to clinch the Western Conference spot in this year's Commissioner Cup final. We go to Wilson. Chelsea Gray off front iron. Battle underneath, knocked out by Smith. And Alyssa Smith, what a night she is having. And Jewel Lloyd slow to get up after taking some contact, battling for that offensive rebound.